Mrs. Reed. Hi Irvington artists. Today we are going to read this book together, Exactly You, The Shape of Your Feelings. It is such a great book. And then we will be making our own artwork inspired by that book. Here's the artwork I made. Ooh. I have to stand on my tippy toes to show you the whole thing. Now this is actually a linear mobile. A mobile is an artwork that can move or spin on its own. So it is something that you should hang up, and then you'll be able to watch all your different shapes spin around. So this is what we'll be making. I'll show you how to do it after we read our book together. Exactly You, The Shape of Your Feelings. My book is even signed by the author and illustrator. Lucky me. What do feelings look like? Your feelings are a beautiful work of art. Happy shapes, adventurous lines, and energetic colors make up your masterpiece. We are all different. Every shape, color, and line has something special that makes it unique. What makes you unique? Because there's no one else in the world like you. You are unique when you are exactly you. It sure is awesome to be you, but sometimes it can be a little hard. Do you ever get nervous to be exactly you? Or worried what someone might think? Or afraid of how you feel? Or scared of what might happen? Those feelings are normal, completely normal. Sometimes those feelings are called anxiety. It can feel like you're made up of knots and scribbles, but guess what? Those feelings can be good. Those feelings can help you practice being strong and brave. With practice, your feelings can do lots of amazing things. Have you ever felt a little sad and gray? Sometimes those feelings are called depression. It can feel like you live under a storm cloud, or that you're asleep even when you're awake. It's okay to have those feelings too. I like how these lines even look like rain under a storm cloud. Because those feelings can help, you notice when you're happy. Happiness can feel warm like the sun. You can be kind. You can make it rain kindness. What feeling helps you spread your kindness? Confident flowers don't compare themselves to other flowers. They just bloom. Your shapes, colors, and lines dance inside you, creating a beautiful masterpiece. You are an amazing work of art, and your feelings make you exactly you. To make our linear mobile, you'll want to gather a lot of different art supplies. The more variety, the better. I decided to use some colorful paper, and I cut it down a little bit smaller so that my shapes wouldn't be too big on my mobile. I thought about how these colors make me feel. The color red could represent love, but it could also represent anger. So I decided to scrabble all my anger and frustration out onto this red piece of paper using marker, crayon, and then I decided to splatter some black paint on top. You have to get your watercolors really wet, give them lots of water drops, and then you'll tap the brush to get a fun splatter effect on your paper. Have you ever heard someone say, "I've got the blues"? It means they're sad. Blue can represent sadness, but it can also be a calm, relaxing color. So I decided to pick some colors that make me feel calm, and I drew some sort of wavy pattern across my paper. This color blue reminds me of ocean waves, which can also be a relaxing sound. This purple made me think of a dreary rainy day, so I drew some raindrops using a gloomy rain cloud gray. Do you ever feel sad or tired on rainy days like that? I know I do. Those sorts of days make me think of raindrops and puddles, so I decided to make some puddles in my background as well. I put a bunch of water on my paper before adding the paint to it, and I watched that paint spread and blur, and it was sort of a relaxing process to watch that paint change. Yellow is a bright, cheerful color that reminds me of warm sunshine. So I decided to draw lots of zigzags just radiating across this paper to represent sun rays. And then I colored them in using red, yellow, and orange, which are the warm, fiery colors. Once you finish decorating your papers, you'll want to cut them into the shapes that you would like for your linear mobile. If you want both sides of your shape to look decorated, you could always fold your paper before cutting out your shapes. I like to draw my shape before I cut it out, that way I can make sure that I'm happy with it. So I drew a heart shape because the color yellow makes me feel warm, it makes me think of the people I love in my life, so I wanted to cut it out as a heart shape. This purple shape, which reminds me of rain clouds, I thought it would be clever to cut out sort of a rain cloud shape. So think of the shapes that sort of match the colors that you picked out for your linear mobile. So with my red anger paper, I decided to cut it into the shape of a lightning bolt because sometimes my anger or my frustration comes out of nowhere and it just hits me like a bolt of lightning. Since blue is my calm, relaxing color, I thought of activities that help me feel calm. Painting is one of them, so I decided to draw and cut out this blobby, organic shape that reminds me of a paint splatter. Now we're going to build our mobile, and there's plenty of different ways that you can attach your shapes. But first, you do want to think about the placement and what order you're going to put your shapes from top to bottom. I'm going to start with my heart, and since this paper was folded, I can put a bunch of glue on the inside, lay my string inside or my yarn, and then hold it closed so that it'll stay in its spot. If you don't have any glue, one other thing that you can do is you can poke holes in your paper using a pencil, and then you can just tie the string through the holes. If you're having a tough time with the knot tying, you could always ask a grown-up for help. One other way to attach your shapes to your string is just to tape it down. You could use clear tape or masking tape like what I'm using to tape it on the back side of your paper. If you want to sort of camouflage the tape or make it feel like part of the design, you can always add marker on top. My final shape is going to be attached using a stapler. So if you have a stapler handy, it's a pretty easy way to attach your shapes to your mobile. And that's all there is to it. Of course, feel free to add extra things to your mobile, extra colorful shapes, or even objects from around your house. I added some pom-poms, a stick, and even a button to my linear mobile. So get creative with it, you're the artist, and keep being exactly you.